Before you go hiking alone, there are a few things you really need to know. And honestly, most of them have nothing to do with hiking. It's not just about what gear you carry or what trail you choose. It's about learning how to trust yourself, how to stay aware, how to make good decisions, and how to keep moving forward even when fear tries to talk you out of it before you even make it to the trailhead. Because the hardest part about hiking alone usually isn't the trail itself. It's the fear, the doubt, the overthinking. This is the part about solo hiking most people never talk about. Today I'm hiking up to Lincoln Hills. The route I have is about a 5-mile route, 1,000 feet of elevation gain. This area is notorious for wildflowers in the springtime. This is my favorite hike to do in the spring because of all the flowers. I wanted to come out here today not only to see the flowers, but also I have a student coming into town on Friday who we're going to hike this trail together, and I wanted to check out the trail conditions and give her an idea of what she can expect on her hike. Also, this area just opened for the season, beginning of May, so it's my first time being out here this year. And everything is so green and beautiful. I love Missoula in the spring. So while I'm out here hiking today, I want to talk about what I wish I would have known before I started hiking alone. Because there was a time when even driving to a trailhead by myself felt intimidating. And now, hikes like this feel completely normal to me. Not because fear magically disappeared, but because over time, I learned how to prepare, trust myself, and slowly build confidence through experience. Something you need to know about hiking alone is that you get to pick your route, you get to pick where you stop, you get to pick everything about your hike. It's your hike. There's a lot of freedom with solo hiking, which I think is part of the reason why I love it so much. I can go anywhere I want, whenever I want, for however long I want to, because I'm by myself. Another thing about solo hiking is you want to know what someone's afraid of, tell them you go hiking by yourself. You'll quickly learn all the things people are afraid of. One of the things you need to know, especially as a woman, is this. People are going to project their fears onto you. Suddenly, that solo hike becomes, that's dangerous, that's reckless. You shouldn't do that by yourself. I'm really tired of hearing people say women shouldn't hike alone, because it's simply not true. The reality is that risk exists everywhere. In towns, parking lots, neighborhoods, roads, trailheads, and yes, sometimes out in the backcountry too. But fear-based messaging teaches women to avoid hiking alone instead of teaching them how to prepare for it safely. And those are two very different things. Honestly, one of the biggest mindset shifts for me was learning the difference between hiking in fear and hiking prepared. That shift changed everything. One of the things that helped me stop spiraling before going on a solo hike was learning how to prepare for it ahead of time. Before I leave home, I always check trail conditions, weather, road access, and recent trip reports written by other hikers. I also download offline maps before I head out because this way, even if I don't have cellular Wi-Fi service, I can still use my downloaded maps for on-trail navigation. Even on a peaceful hike like this, I still notice how much calmer I feel when I know I'm prepared for it ahead of time. Because usually, the more prepared I feel, the quieter my fear becomes. There's definitely a whole lot more people out on this trail. It's pretty popular. And hiking alone doesn't mean ignoring safety. It also doesn't mean trying to prove to anyone that you're fearless. Part of hiking confidently is learning how to stay aware without constantly hiking in fear. Whenever I head out on trail alone, I always tell someone where I'm going, when I plan on being back, and I share my route with them beforehand. I also carry things that help me feel prepared, like the 10 essentials, extra water, bear spray, and a satellite messenger. Not because I expect something bad to happen, but because being prepared helps me feel more calm and grounded while I'm out here alone. There's a big difference between hiking alone confidently and hiking alone carelessly. So far, this trail is pretty cruisy. For my whole route today, it'll be a total of 1,000 feet of elevation gain, over 5 miles. But it's so beautiful, and you can see the rattlesnake and Missoula off in the background. Really pretty. I decided to extend my route a little bit today and hop off the main trail to check out a side trail that looked pretty interesting.
According to my map, it should eventually loop back and reconnect to the main trail, so I figured, why not? This is one of the things I love most about solo hiking. I don't have to consult with anybody else if I want to switch up my route. I can just make the decision and go explore. Something else you should know about hiking alone is that you don't owe strangers any of your personal information. If someone asks whether I'm hiking alone or where I'm headed, I usually keep things pretty vague. If I want to share photos or videos from a hike, I wait until I'm safely back home first. I also avoid wearing headphones while hiking because I want to stay fully aware of what's happening around me. I want to hear mountain bikes or other hikers coming up behind me, wildlife, and weather changing. Being aware of your surroundings is one of the most important skills you can develop while hiking alone. And honestly, in the last 10 years of hiking alone, there's only been one time where I truly didn't feel safe. But what surprised me most afterward wasn't fear. It was realizing I trusted myself enough to handle the situation calmly. That experience didn't stop me from hiking alone. It just made me more aware, more prepared, and more confident in my ability to respond if something ever does feel off. Because confidence isn't pretending bad things never happen. It's trusting yourself enough to know how to respond if they do.
Well, it looks like I'm a wee bit too early for the bulk of the bloom of the wildflowers. There's a couple here and there, but this area is usually just exploded with flowers, and there's maybe a handful. So, a little early. It's all right, I'll come back.
Hiking alone has taught me something really important over the years. Not every experience has to go perfectly to still be worth doing. Sometimes the weather changes. Sometimes you take the wrong trail. Sometimes you turn around early. Sometimes the flowers aren't blooming yet. But that doesn't make the experience a failure. And weirdly enough, I think solo hiking helped change the way I see myself. Because every time I've solved a problem alone, made a difficult decision alone, or worked through something uncomfortable alone, I started proving to myself that I was far more capable than I originally believed. And over time, solo hiking stopped feeling scary and started feeling freeing. I don't have to rush to keep up with someone else. I don't have to worry about whether another person is enjoying themselves. I don't have to compromise on where I want to go or how long I want to stay. I can just hike. With solo hiking, you get something a lot of people are missing right now. Quiet. No notifications, no pressure to respond to anyone, no constant noise. Just space to think, space to process life, and space to reconnect with yourself without constant distraction. That kind of confidence doesn't just stay on the trail. It follows you back into the rest of your life too. If you're thinking about hiking alone but feel stuck and don't really know where to start, I put together the Solo Backpacking Readiness Check, a free guide to help you figure out how to get started without waiting for confidence to magically show up first. Click the link down in the description below to download your free guide. And if you're scared to hike alone, I want you to know something. Fear doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're incapable. And it definitely doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It just means you're stepping outside of your comfort zone and doing something unfamiliar. Confidence gets built through experience, not by waiting until fear disappears, not from waiting until you feel 100% ready, but from proving to yourself, little by little, that you can handle more than you think. So start small. Pick an easy trail. Learn the skills, practice being prepared, and let confidence build over time. Because one day you'll look back and realize the thing you were once scared of ended up being the thing that helped you trust yourself the most. If you liked this video and got some value out of it, make sure to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for new videos each week, and hit the bell icon to get notified each time new videos are posted. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy trails and keep on truckin'.